To step back and answer a question also leading up to this on how I discovered influencers and knew of influencers back when I was working for Walmart. Tom C and Don Soderquist were part of a organization that did it was called the Daily Walk. And
Right.
I heard of the Daily Walk and I was going to those. And I walked up to Tom C and introduced myself to him, thinking that was a really cool guy to get to know. And so I introduced myself to him, and he immediately, brought up influencers or the journey, and turned around and introduced me to a man by the name of Johan Eriksson and said,
Mm,
"Hey, he's got a group that's starting, a men's group that's starting. You need to, get plugged in." And so that's how I was introduced to influencers ministries and the journey. I went through the journey for 2 years with Johan, two different groups, two different men's groups. That was 15 years ago or so,
mm,
maybe 13 years ago. And so, did that. And then you and I met at F3
hmm
and got reintroduced, I would say, to influencers ministries and the journey. Then had the pleasure of going through the another men's group with you and Nomad as a co-leader
hmm
and Mark Sewell.
Yep.
And then, last year we got to go through the couples group, and that was a unique experience. To have gone through the journey three different times in a men's group was amazing. Was a great experience, and then to share that experience with my wife and my spouse, my partner, in that type of a setting was really special, and I really enjoyed that. Um, and then yeah, you kind of asked for some shipping help, right? And
That's
that's how I got
right.
introduced into the office. And then yeah, the rest is history, right? With Julie retiring and I was blessed enough that you guys thought of me as a replacement for her and taking on additional responsibilities on top of the role that she had. And I know we'll probably get into that later on, but yeah, that's kind of in a nutshell, 60,000 foot view of
Yeah, yeah, and I think there is a lot more to the story in the
yeah,
sense of what was God doing, and I don't
mhm,
think we know fully yet, but I think
yeah,
we have some ideas maybe. But so let's talk a little spiritually. Like, so where were you in your faith when
yeah,
you were around the time that you met Tom C and went to the Daily
yeah.
Walk and ended up in a journey? Kind of tell me what was going on in your faith at that point.
Yeah, so my faith journey leading up to that point, I've always, I'd like to say I'd kind of grew up in church or at least, with that influence in my life, even if at certain points of my life that my whole family wasn't attending church.